Welcome back to the Engineered Angler. I'm going to do a really quick short video just to answer some questions I've been getting. Now, a while back I did a couple of videos, kind of a little bit of a series of videos on UV clear coat. And I've had a lot of questions on how well it holds up. Does it turn yellow? Does it flake? Does it get brittle? All that kind of stuff. About 2 years ago, I took a lure that I put a single coat of UV clear coat on it, and I put it in one of the most harsh environments that I could think of. It has spent 2.5 years in this spot, and I think it's time to take a peek at it. Let's go outside. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's what I'm talking about. For the last couple of years, I've had this lure hanging from my rearview mirror every day of the year for 2.5 years. This thing has been sitting in the sun with the door closed, so it's probably been seeing something like 130, 140 degree temperatures in here in the summer, and then the colds at night here in Florida, which aren't tremendous, but they still get below freezing. And it's time to pull this thing down and take a close look at it. Okay, let's take it in the shop where we have better light and take a really close look at this thing. Okay, well there it is. Still got this tether on there. I'll just leave that on there. Let me show you another one that's similar to it. It's about the same age and it's beat up. It actually was fished, so you get kind of an idea of what it looks like after it's been fished for about a year. Here's the blank. This is what I made the mold out of, and I'm showing you this so you can see that there's a cavity in there, and that's for that rattle. Let's go ahead and take a close look at the wear and tear on this. One of the things that I noticed right away, and I noticed this a while back, is the fact that it started to wrinkle. Looks like the heat got to the paint, and the expansion and contraction of the actual body, I think, caused it to delaminate, and you end up with these wrinkles here. The other thing is you can see where that chamber in there, the air got hot in it, I guess, and sort of pushed that plug out. You see I have like a cap that goes on there. So overall though, if you look at it, the sheen is still there. It's still pretty glossy. There's nothing really flaking off. There's a couple little spots up here where it looks like it never really stuck well. I might have had some little fish eyes I never noticed. I've had some problems with my lures before that I've had the paint actually delaminate, and I'm pretty sure it's the paint that's delaminating and not the actual UV Cure resin. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some macro photography right in this area, just to see if I can tell whether it's the paint or the clear coat. Let's take a peek. So, generally speaking, you can see that it's kept its shine pretty well. I generally put more coats than I did on this one. I only put one. Otherwise, I think it held up pretty good. I think if it had 2 or 3 coats on it, it would have held out a little better. So as contrast to yellowing, here's one of the very first lures I ever made. This is about 8 years old, and you can see that it's heavily yellowed. I'll put some photographs of what it looked like originally. How heavily yellowed that is. That's actually 20-minute 2-part epoxy. I think my conclusion is that the UV resin doesn't yellow. It does get a little brittle, but it holds together pretty well, considering the paint actually shriveled up underneath it and it flexed and didn't break. That's a 2-year study, one lure. So I think this gives me confidence that I can continue to use the Illuma UV for as a clear coat and it won't yellow, and it seems to be pretty hardy. I know it's hard as heck. So I hope this answers some of your questions. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.